So pit, oh yeah, yins are crazy. This is it.
Yeah, his dance moves are always going to be way better than mine, that's for sure. Welcome into the third installment of the Chris Wormley Show, brought to you by yinzercrazy.com. His name is Jordan York. You find him on Twitter at Jordan York Music. I'm Mike Nicastro. You can find me at Mic'd Up Sports One. Together, we are Yinzer Crazy, and together, we're all bringing you the Chris Wormley Show tonight with Steelers Chris Wormley, who's going to help us break down the Steelers' impressive victory against the Bills, that 23-16 win, which arguably was the most impressive win in all of football this past weekend. I'm going to go out on a limb and just say that. And we're so excited to pick his brain about what it was like to be right dead in the center of all that. We're also going to ask him a little bit about this upcoming matchup at Heinz Field with the Las Vegas Raiders. We can't wait for that. First, we want to shout out some of our awesome sponsors. Let's start with Yinsylvania.com. JY, I see you wearing a shirt right there, I think, that is from Yinsylvania.com. Tell us about that.
Yes, so this is the reason why I specifically picked this shirt is because this is one of my favorite Steeler fight songs. It's the Steelers polka. You might know it. We're from the town with the great football team. Dun, 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 dun. It is the Pittsburgh Steelers. So long story short, I seen this shirt, and they are awesome. So check it out. We got it right there in writing. Make sure you check out Yinsylvania. They're awesome people doing awesome thing in Pittsburgh, and we support local Yinzers doing awesome things, so make sure you check them out.
No question about it. We're going to bring you Wormley in just a few seconds here, but I want to remind everybody out there, give us a follow on Twitter at Yinzer Crazy Show. You can also connect with us on Instagram. It's at Yinzer_crazy. And while you're here watching us on YouTube, do us a favor. Just hit that subscribe button. It takes 1 second. Leave us a nice little review if you'd like. You can even leave a mean review. Hey, if you don't like the show or my dancing, Jordan's singing, we have all the talents out here on display today, certainly paling in comparison to Chris Wormley's. I also want to mention before we get into Chris Wormley, our good friends over at Steel City Wheelhouse. You can find them at steelcitywheelhouse.com. Of course, John, he is the best, one of the best auto body places in all of PA. They have 2 locations now, right, Jordan?
Yeah, the Meadowlands in Imperial, PA. And John, you need alignments, you need new tires, rims, auto detailing, whatever it may be. They are the one and only place to go in the Burgh. A lot of athletes go there. A lot of people in Pittsburgh know about them, and they're continue to rise to the top. And we're happy to have, Steel City Wheelhouse on our team. And that's where I go for all of my auto needs. And John will take care of you, man. So make sure you go check them out.
We're going to take care of you with another amazing edition of the Chris Wormley Show. Of course, we want to thank our great sponsors, and I thank you for tuning in. Hopefully, we bring you a little bit of joy every Tuesday night, which is now the first night in a handful of days without football. I spent my Thursday watching football, my Friday even watching football. Of course, Saturday consumed by college, NFL consumed by the Steelers. And last night, an important game in AFC North and Steelers land, the Raiders beating the Ravens. We'll, of course, talk to Chris about that in a second. He is Jordan. I am Mike. And this is Chris Wormley. Chris, welcome into your own show yet again. How you feeling today?
I feel great. It's we had Victory Monday yesterday, had a great victory on Sunday, and today was our off day, so I'm living pretty high right now.
Did you know that you guys are now 1-0 on weeks where you draw in a purple unicorn?
I might as well keep drawing. The coloring book's right behind me, so maybe I'll keep scribbling on a good day or on a Wednesday or something like that. Yeah.
I think everybody that's followed us on Twitter over at Yinzer Crazy Show is aware of that great screen grab by now. But in all seriousness, congratulations. Obviously, it's always a lot more fun to talk to you after a Steelers win. You guys go into Buffalo. You're trailing 10-0. Super hostile environment. You come back and you beat the AFC runner-up, right? What should that tell us about the 2021 Pittsburgh Steelers?
I think it should tell you guys a lot. Obviously, you saw how our defense played the whole game. Our special teams stepped up, and Big Ben in the offense, made some huge plays down the stretch when we needed it. And it's always good to see the offense take a knee at the end of the game to seal the victory. But I think people are going to have a lot of different thoughts about us throughout the year. But I think this sets us up pretty nice. We beat an AFC team that, could have went to the Super Bowl. They were, one win away from going to the Super Bowl. But I think we're a legit team, and we knew that all along coming into camp we were going to be great. But it's just nice to kind of prove that a little bit, even if it was just week one.
People are always going to talk. You guys obviously like to block out that outside noise. Jordan and I can't so much because we obviously kind of work in sports media. So just for those today, I wore my Kermit shirt. Just FYI, I had to throw that out there for you guys. 1-0 Pittsburgh Steelers. Hey, you specifically in the second quarter, you guys are down 3-0. TJ Watt comes around the end, strip sack of Josh Allen. What am I watching? Of course, I'm watching 95. He's shielding Deion Dawkins over there, trying to ensure that his team gets the football. All right, take me back to the time and place. What do you remember from that play?
Yeah, I mean, we can kind of cut to that. TJ gets the sack. I mean, that's what he got paid for. People were probably thinking, oh, he shouldn't have got paid that much, blah blah blah. But the guy had 2 sacks, strip sack, and that's what TJ Watt does. But he gets a strip sack. I'm running to the ball. I see Melvin Ingram coming towards me. I'm thinking, oh, he's gonna scoop the ball. So I put a hand out to block Dawkins, and Mel fumbles the fumble, and I'm like, oh crap, let me see if I can get on it. And by the time Cam gets on it, I was blocking for the scoop and score. I was hoping Mel was gonna take it to the house, but obviously we got the ball anyways, and put our offense in a good position to drive down the field.
Yeah. So let's talk about your friends Cam Hayward and TJ Watt. What can you say about their performance this past Sunday?
I mean, that's what they are. That's the type of players they are. That's the type of teammates they are. They want that pressure when the game's on the line. And like I said, that's what those guys get paid a lot of money for, is to go out and do that week in and week out. And it's only week one, but you guys have been watching those guys for a long time playing this game, and that's what they do. And those are our 2 best players on the defensive side of the ball. And when they stepped up, everyone else just feeds off of it.
Are you amazed that TJ Watt can just go from no preseason snaps to just being that dominant on the field? Like, is that like what is that like playing on the field with him, let alone, just witnessing that?
Yeah, I mean, I think him on the field makes everyone better. Not just the D-line, but the linebackers and the secondary. But TJ didn't just sit on his butt all camp and all offseason and eat potato chips and watch Friends. He was working out.
He would have picked The Office anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He was working out. He was, on the field with us during walkthrough, so he was getting those mental reps. He just didn't bang his body up. So I'm guessing TJ was probably a lot fresher than 90% of the guys on the field that day.
Yeah.
So I think that might have worked out to his benefit. But anytime he's on the field, magic can happen, splash plays can happen, and you saw that week one, and that's how it's going to be for the next 16 weeks.
Was he fresher than 95? How did 95 feel?
I felt good. We had a good rotation this game. With the young guys stepping in. Carlos played a lot this game. Bugs was in there, and obviously Cam and Tyson, the old heads, were in the mix as well. Obviously, those were the starters. We had a good rotation. I feel like a lot of guys were fresh. Even towards the end of the game, and we all came out healthy, which was the biggest thing. So we're looking forward to the Raiders come Sunday.
You're watching the Chris Wormley Show, brought to you by YinzerCrazy.com and Case Specific Meal Prep. They're the most efficient meal prep service in the Berg. Check them out at csmpgh.com. Chris, let's talk about halftime a little bit. And, I found it very interesting last night. I was watching the Monday Night Football game, and we'll get to the Raiders here in a second. Obviously, they're a team that was down and came back, similar to what you guys accomplished against the Bills. But I also flipped on to Peyton Manning and Eli Manning for a second, chalking it up on ESPN2, which was some terrific insight. Of course, what else are you going to get from those two guys? Right. They said that halftime adjustments by sports media, if you will, are always a bit exaggerated, because it's like by the time you get into the locker room, you can pee, you can have a Gatorade, and then you're running back out. What specifically is that like as a player? Do you actually get to take a break and chat? Like, tell me about your halftime experience.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say it's exact. I think how much time people think we actually have in the locker room is exaggerated. I think it's only a 12-minute halftime. Once you walk up the tunnel, it's 10, 11 minutes left, and you got to walk back down, with 2 minutes left. So you only really get 7-8 minutes. But in that 7-8 minutes, you can eat your oranges, take your pre-workout again, drink your Gatorade, Coach Tomlin will talk to the whole team real quick, split up into defense. We'll split up into D-line, make a few adjustments here and there that we can, maybe do better or make this play a little better that we were running in the first half. Just small adjustments can mean a lot in the grand scheme of things. But you only get 7-8 minutes, so it's not like a college halftime where it's 30 minutes long. It's short, it's sweet, and it's simple, but it can mean a lot at the end of the day. And I think our halftime this past game helped us a lot with some adjustments we made.
It's great to get that insight from you, because even myself, occasionally sitting on the couch, I get a bag of chips and a water, and I come back and I'm like, they're kicking off already. That was fast, but that is very, very interesting stuff. So Coach Tomlin obviously had a few minutes to talk to you guys. You came out and, the offense started humming in the second half. You guys defensively played great all first half. But what was Coach Tomlin's message at halftime in a nutshell?
I mean, the defense, it was just continue what you were doing. Obviously, offense needed to put some points on the board, and they did. And that was great. We on the defensive side of the ball, we love when our offense scores points. That's always a great feeling. But just continue to play. The game's not over after just one half or even 2 quarters or even 1 quarter. We were down 10-0, but we were still right in that game. So we played all 4 quarters. We played through the whistle. We played to the end of the game, and the outcome was a W. And we could have packed our bags and packed it in and said, we're down 10-0 at halftime. We're going to lose this game. That wasn't our mentality at all. And none of us blinked, none of us flinched, and we came out in that second half and we're firing on all cylinders.
That's awesome. So we talked about this in the prior episode. Obviously, the fans are back in the stands. Steeler Nation came out in abundance, and Bills Mafia is obviously crazy and loud. I can hear it just, at home sitting on my couch, how crazy it was there. What was that like? I know that, we're going to Heinz Field on Sunday, but what was it like just having, the away game fans there?
It's crazy. Bills Mafia is, probably top 5 most passionate fans in the league. They're, Buffalo's a small market. That's their only major. They have the hockey team there, but that's one of the only major sports teams in the area. And it's crazy because we stayed in downtown Buffalo, and we had to drive to Orchard Park, which is probably 20 minutes out. And the stadium's in the middle of a neighborhood essentially. So people are parking, tailgating in the driveways and in the front yards. And
wow.
I didn't see any table smashing, which I played there. It's my 3rd time playing there. I haven't seen any table smashing yet. So hopefully one of these times I play there, I'll be able to see some of that. But it was probably one of the loudest stadiums I've been in. Fans were just excited to be back in stadiums. The terrible towels were flying. We had a good turnout, but man, those Bills fans are passionate. So it was nice to see them a little quiet and exit the stadium a little earlier than I'm sure they anticipated on Sunday.
Yeah, that's always a beautiful sight when they're leaving and we're nailing the ball for in victory formation. So
yep,
glad to hear it.
No doubt.
No question. So I just wanted to jump in really quickly and ask you about a fan question that we've got here, of course, that we always like to take from Twitter, Chris. This one is from Thomas, and I know you helped us out a little bit by getting some questions by smacking that retweet button earlier for us. Thomas wants to know, what's the most important thing you've learned since coming to Pittsburgh? And he says it can be from a teammate, coach, or just the area in general.
Oh man, that's a tough. That's a really good question, but that's a tough one.
Thanks, Thomas.
Yeah,
stumped him. Should we get back to it? Maybe we'll circle back.
I think even obviously players and coaches, want you to work hard, but I think being here last year during a pandemic and now kind of seeing how the city operates and the fans and the people and the people just in general of the city, they just work hard, and that's something that I've always known, but it's kind of nice to see a city like Pittsburgh kind of overcome things, obviously like the pandemic and things like that, but just to see their resilience and just how hard they work day in and day out. And I think that's something that I picked up on a little bit since I've been here, and a little more so over the last couple of months, where I've been able to actually see people and interact with them. Is just how hard this city works and the resiliency of it. And I think that shows in the sports teams here as well.
Blue collar.
Yeah.
That's what Pittsburgh's about.
Jordan York has a song that is called Blue Collar. Jordan, tell Chris about that. Who's in it with you?
Right?
Jimmy Ross. There was Jaggers, a popular group. Donnie Iris, if you know any Pittsburgh music, he was in a group with them. And, I was fortunate enough, a lot of my music is Pittsburgh, and, I'm actually just got done doing a Steelers song. So, maybe that might be coming this season, and maybe even, do the Worm. You never know what's going there.
I like it. I hope that's not the dance you do with it, but
no, we gotta choreograph that.
Yeah.
I'll leave that up to the females.
The premise behind it was good.
Yeah.
Hey, Chris, let's jump into the Raiders a little bit. You just told us off air that you were enjoying some ice cream, watching some Monday Night Football, and obviously the game was topsy-turvy. It was absolutely crazy. It was mayhem. The Raiders, of course, ended up pulling out the victory at overtime, 33-27 over the Baltimore Ravens, who you're quite familiar with. First glance, offensively, what type of challenges does Vegas, always want to almost say Oakland, does Vegas present?
I mean, I think you have to look first and foremost at Darren Waller. I played with him for a year and a half in Baltimore. And his story is incredible. The things he's overcome over the last 5 years. And now he's arguably the best tight end in football. I mean, you saw what he did yesterday. It was, especially in that second half, he had like 7 or 8 catches, over 100 yards, that touchdown at the end of the game. I think our big thing is probably going to be able to is to stop him. And I know we're going to have a plan for that. But I mean, Derek Carr is a proven quarterback that has played a lot of football. And their offensive lines look pretty solid too, with Jacobs in the backfield running it a little bit. So I think we're going to have our hands full, but nothing we're not going to be able to tackle and to game plan around. And I'm excited for the challenge, especially to get after the quarterback and to stop that run.
You're prepared, I'm assuming, to take your hand out of the ground and cover Waller one-on-one, right?
I do not get paid to do that, no.
Hey, what an interesting point you mentioned, and something that I totally, missed throughout our research. You were with Waller when he was kind of just getting back before the Raiders, before he became this all-star, this all-pro tight end. Were you able to see his potential at that point, Chris?
Yeah, I mean, he was, 6'6", 240, like freakish athlete, and you're like, man, why is this guy playing? And I didn't know his story until maybe like midway through the season. I think the year before he was suspended the whole year, and I think he was on the active roster my rookie year, and then the next year he was put on practice squad, and then got picked up by I don't even think it was the Raiders that picked him up right away. He got picked up by somebody else, and now you see what he's doing. But you could see in practice the athletic ability that he had, and that special talent that he had that he just didn't tap into because of his off-field things that he was going through. And obviously he's overcome that, and he's a phenomenal not only player but a good dude. That it's nice to see those type of guys overcome things that are that challenging in life.
Yeah, I totally agree. Good on him. And any part of Steelers Nation that's watching this that is not familiar with Darren Waller, you'll probably know his name after Sunday. Let's hope not in too big of a capacity, but we'll just throw that out there. I'm super curious as well as to, does the preparation change when the team you're playing is playing on Monday Night Football? Obviously, you don't have film. It's week 1. So is Coach Tomlin just like, hey, everybody, go watch the game? That's how we're scouting these guys tonight?
Well, no, I mean, definitely. I watched the game last night. I'll probably watch it again in a cut-up form on the iPad, and we'll have a game plan when it comes to what they do. Obviously, there's some preseason games that you could, it's pretty vanilla in the preseason, but Gruden's been around for a while. I'm sure his offense has changed a little bit over the course of the last 20, 30 years. But we'll have a good plan for him. We're excited to get after that. So it's going to be a challenge for them to come to the East Coast and and be on a short week. But they're professionals. We're professionals, and we're both going to have game plans that are going to be pretty good, I think.
Yeah. All right. So I have to ask this. You're back at Heinz Field Sunday. Are you ready for the full Renegade experience finally?
I am, yeah, because the 3 other times that I was in the stadium when there was fans, it was when we were either losing with the Ravens or they wanted a big stop, for the defense. So I'm excited to be on the good side of the Renegade song and the Renegade for the fans. It's going to be crazy to have those 70,000 Yinzers at Heinz Field. I'm excited for that to experience it as a Steeler for the first time.
So during your warm up, that means you found that starter jacket, right? So that's what you're going to be warming up in on Sunday.
To be honest, I think the starter jacket is either in the attic somewhere or we sent it to Goodwill about 15 years ago.
We'll have to track that down or get a new one.
I just picture somebody out there, like, who knows, in Idaho rocking this Steelers starter jacket. They have no idea it was Chris Wormley's at one time. Yeah, that's pretty funny stuff. We're winding down here on the – what's that, Chris?
So that's probably what happened. It's probably somewhere 10 states over and someone's wearing it. So,
yeah.
Well, hopefully they tune into this episode so they can properly identify. Does it have like a CW on the tag?
It might. I remember my parents would always initial, when you go to school, someone steals your gloves or misplaces your coat or shoes or whatever. So it very well could have CW on the tag somewhere.
If we find this person for the next show and bring her or him on, then I think that would be the pinnacle of sports television. Would you agree?
I mean, very nostalgic for me. So maybe I'll see if I can pay them off somehow to get back my jacket. But
I love it.
Hopefully they're taking good care of it.
No question. I can't have you leave, of course, without touching on the maize and blue. Yeah. You could say that your teams were 2-0 this weekend, of course. 31-10 big win over UW. Did you watch, first of all?
I did. I watched a little bit of the first half and then most of the second half after our team meeting Saturday night, but I had to go to bed. They were already up by 2 or 3 scores by the time I went to bed. So I knew that they were in good hands when it comes to the game. But man, the big house looked great. It was a night game. It was a maze out. I was jealous I wasn't there, but obviously I had other responsibilities and obligations. But yeah, it was a good weekend for me all around. Ohio State lost. The Browns lost. The Ravens lost. We won. The Steelers won. Michigan won. So it was good, man. It was an overall good weekend for football for the Wormley house.
It was big worm football in the big house, man. I saw over 300 yards rushing. Hassan Haskins, Blake Corum, some smash mouth football. Who needs an aerial attack, right? Ground and pound.
I mean, I think we're going to need a little more than 44 yards passing when it comes to the bigger guns of the Big Ten, but I'll take 300 yards of rushing any day, no doubt.
That sounds great to us. Hey, we can't wait to watch you on Sunday at Heinz Field. We can't wait for Renegade. Let's hope for another Steelers victory. Let's get Jordan to do that worm song, but not that dance. And let's find the person with your starter jacket. We got to check all these boxes. Chris, congrats on being 1-0, a huge team win. And congrats once more for all that you do in Pittsburgh. And thanks for being on the Chris Wormley Show. Episode 3.
Absolutely. Thanks, fellas. I'll see you guys next Tuesday.
So Pitt, oh yeah, Yins are crazy. This is it right here. Yins are crazy. So Pitt, oh yeah, Yins are crazy. This is it right here. Yins are crazy.
I know Yins are crazy, but so am I. Number 1 sports site in the Berg. Let me show you why.